Hi everybody, welcome back to Enjoying Retirement. Today I'm going to show you how I made a nice, cheap, easy, and I think durable Speargun Target so I can get some practice in before I head down to Florida this summer. I figure it's a whole lot better to get my practice in up here in the pool rather than wait till I have the fish in front of me. I'm making this out of 3/4 inch PVC. For the size target I wanted, I am cutting 2 pieces at 31 inches and 2 at 32. For my vertical pieces, I'm going to mark for holes at 6 inches and then also at 22 inches because the material I'm using is 16 inches wide. Now for the bottom piece, I'm marking at 4 inches on each side. You don't need to cut the top piece or drill into the top piece because you actually want that to be airtight. So I used a 5/16 inch bit with a nice point on it and went ahead and drilled all the holes. 2 on each side and 2 on the bottom. Go nice and slow. Go ahead and clean the ends up and then use 4 elbow joints and go ahead and glue them on. Here, you just want to make sure that you are lining up the holes in the orientation you want and make sure that the sides are lined up the same. Go ahead and clean things off. This does get a little bit messy, at least for me. Make sure that both your elbows are pointing in the same direction and then line up all 4 corners. And again, make sure that since there is a difference in the where you drilled the side holes, make sure that the short side is on the short side, the other one as well. Now here is the real key to it. This is a mesh. This is a mesh I found on Amazon. It came the next day and was absolutely perfect. 16 inches by 10 feet. But the key here is look down there and choose the one with the 0.7 inch opening because that will fit your shaft, your flopper, and any fins you have on it just perfectly, as I'll show you in a moment. So I went ahead and cut this to 1 inch less than the opening I'm going to have inside the frame and took it outside. Cut out a cardboard fish of a size that I want to practice on, and then just got a couple of things so that I would have some target bullseyes to aim at for practicing. The fish is just to keep things fun. You can't shoot bullseyes for too long without getting bored, so I keep that there. Obviously, you can make this a lot smaller if you didn't include the fish. Just add a couple of bullseyes, it would all fit on one 10-foot piece of PVC. Take it off and let it dry for a while. And there you have it. Now we're moving on to the next piece. We are going to connect our screen to the frame, and the package was so good it even included zip ties. So that made this real nice and easy. All in all, I spent about $25. I had to go buy a new can of paint, ordered the plastic, and then I bought a 10-foot piece of PVC. Everything else I had on hand. Now we're going to make a couple bit of weights to hold it down. I went ahead and cut some more of that screen to put under the weights because what I want to do is as I thread my cord through, I want to tie the knot on top. And that will help the weights set flat on the bottom. If you just tie it through the hole, they tend to roll a little bit if you put it on the slant of a pool. So go ahead, tie the weights off, put them through the hole in the bottom, and tie that off at about whatever distance is appropriate for where you're going to put that in your pool so that it is well underwater. And I did make the top opening before you get to the plastic larger to make sure that I am keeping this well underwater, everything. So here we go. Let's take a look at it, put it in. So far so good. It's floating to the air chamber up above. And you can see that the target things really pop. When I do this for real, I'm going to tie those strings off so that they're not floating like that. I also found out a little bit later on that you have to put a pool noodle or pipe insulation on the top just to hold it up a little bit more, but let's give it a shot. There you go. Now let's see that in slow motion. Goes right on through. Now, you might ask, well, how do you know where you hit? Just go up. You got to have your spear attached to your bungee cord attached to the gun, and wherever the line is going through, that's where your spear went. Let's take a look from the other side. I'm just doing some off the hip shooting here for dark water, maybe some mangrove snapper, and here we go in slow motion. I'm going to have a lot of fun using this in the pool, and I think my aim and my shooting will be a whole lot better once I get down to Florida and I'm able to actually have some fish in front of me. Now the question is, how do you get it out? What's the ease of that? Well, you just follow your line up, pull the spear up, and because you got the 0.7 inch opening, you can just put the end of the shaft right back through the opening you shot through, pull it up, close your flopper, and you're through. Been using this a couple days now. It doesn't even have a nick on it. Well, hope you can use that, and thanks for watching. As always, I am enjoying retirement.